Hi there, I'm Eric Hundley and welcome to my channel. On this channel, I cover human behavior and its consequences. By that, it includes body language, statement analysis, true crime, many different things that people get themselves into and sometimes don't get out. I try to get an understanding of people and how they tick. And as such, I have some of the best experts in the world on the channel, be it the entire behavior panel with Scott Rouse, Greg Hartley, Chase Hughes, and Mark Bowden, to my good friends Gavin Stone and Lena Cisco. I also run other channels, and occasionally the channels will almost interlink with their mission or concept. Today, I'm having Gavin Stone, my good friend, give me some feedback on the Alec Baldwin sheriff interview that was released not that long ago by the Santa Fe Sheriff's Department. I wanted to put it on here because it's body language and statement analysis, but we are also going to be covering it as we have on the whole Alec Baldwin incidents on my other channel, America's Untold Stories. So I encourage you, if you're very interested in the whole Russ tragedy, checking that out. We have over 20 videos there. Now, as far as this one, I released the interview, a raw version of it, and you can check it out here. And Gavin watched it on his own, got back to me and said, Eric, I noticed a few things about this interview. I said, well, can you share a video with me and talk about those items? And this is what he did. So here's Gavin. Take it away.
Hi, Eric. I was watching the Alec Baldwin interview that you put on America's Untold Stories. Absolutely brilliant. There was a few things that jumped out at me, so I thought I'd make this video for you and we can discuss them and take it from there. So during the entire process, his body language is very, very open. He's very relaxed. He's very calm. There was only one time during the entire recording that he folded his arms, and that was at the point when he was going to lunch or was asked about going to lunch.
Okay. Do people stay up on set, or does everybody go down?
Well, there are many people who will forego lunch.
Okay.
I take that back, not many. There are some who will forego lunch because they have work to do.
Okay.
Someone will hold them a plate, they'll bring their own lunch. Many people, they make sacrifices because of their pride for their department.
Mm-hmm.
They may sit there and say, I think I need to paint that wall and touch up that wall. I think I need to distress those boots. They all have work to do.
So that was a bit concerning for me. It's an inconsistency with everything else that was going on when he was being open during the entire interview. Another thing that stuck out at me was when he was asked about going to lunch, and the question was, what time did you go to lunch? And instead of answering with, we went to lunch at 12:30, he said, we usually go to lunch at 12:30.
And
She was there.
all right, moving back forward, what time did you guys break for lunch today?
Usually, I think today was probably 12:30.
Okay.
Now that doesn't answer the question. That kind of evades the question because that doesn't say what time they went to lunch that day. It just says what time they normally go to lunch. So maybe something, maybe nothing. But the fact that he did that and he folded his arms when asked about lunch, those were two little inconsistencies that I would like to definitely investigate further. May mean nothing, but it certainly looks to me like there would be more worth digging in there. So that was one thing. Then there was something else that popped up, which I thought was really interesting too. And that was when he was asked about whether he thought any deliberate act of sabotage could have been done when putting a round into the chamber. Did he at any point think it could have been deliberate?
Do you think that any part of this incident that occurred was intentional?
I can only say this, which is, and it was, to me, to place a bullet and position a bullet that is a live round, to make sure that that bullet is in the chamber, if I were to squeeze the trigger in a rehearsal, that bullet came out, someone has to have extraordinary access to that weaponry to do that. I can't imagine somebody walked around with a round that was a 45 caliber round. So you see, other people on the set were speculating that it was a 45 caliber round, she'd be dead. It would have blown a big hole in her. And so we're wondering, was the projectile that went in her some foreign material stuck, and it was an accident, it was a flash round, and something came out of the barrel. They didn't check. They always check. But
to your experience with these armorers...
I've never heard of anything like this in my life, ever.
Okay.
I've never heard of a projectile coming out of a prop gun that went through a person's body, regardless of her being a smaller woman. That the bullet went in here, I'm told, went in here, came out here, her shoulder or whatever, and went into his body and buried. I've never heard of that in my life. I don't know of any projectile in a gun, in a flash prop gun, that could accomplish that. Now, if somebody put a live round in there accidentally, see, a very important question for Hannah is, have you ever commingled live rounds with theatrical rounds in your kit? Because they're forbidden to do that. Mm-hmm. According to, I think, the union rules and the safety rules for all the unions, you're not allowed to do that because of the fear of what will happen that you commingle. So whether someone accidentally, and I can't even imagine this, deliberately placed a live round in that gun, I've never heard of that in my life. And I don't know anything about what happened, but all I know is when I... See, the other thing about this is, in a live round, you'd have a recoil, usually. When I shot that gun and it went off, I didn't shoot it when it went off. I didn't intend for it for what happened to happen. When that happened I'm always told, but because I'm not a gun person, I don't own a gun.
Now, the thing is, he didn't answer the question. Again, he didn't say no, he didn't say yes. He went off into a story on 3 different occasions. And that went down the lines of, I've been working in this industry for X amount of years, or let me tell you, I've had experience. And he went off to tell his story, but at no point did he say yes or no. And that was concerning for me. More importantly, 3 times he was asked if he thought it was possibly deliberate or not, and 3 times he evaded the question. Again, real cause for concern there. 3 is the magic number when it comes to liars. They tend to use 3 as this kind of, I've been around your house 3 times, I've called you 3 times. It just seems to be the default number for when people are lying. It's also the number for when asking somebody a question. I tend to say, if I ask somebody the same question 3 times and they don't answer me 3 times, or they give an evasive answer 3 times, I've got concerns as to why. So those are little things that I think are possibly relevant. There's a lot more going on, but that's a quick summary of what I saw. This isn't an in-depth analysis of that video, but when I was watching it, it was something that I thought was noteworthy and worth letting you know. So hope this was worthwhile. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Wow. Those were some good points, weren't they? Especially the arm crossing. I didn't realize it because I'm not really paying attention, but boy, did Alec Baldwin really cross his arms, and he kept them crossed for a while. And it did look a little bit more than a relaxation. It looked like he was actually comforting himself, I believe. What do you think? Please tell me below. And while you're at it, if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. I have a lot more coming your way. So until next time, thanks so much.